Okay, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. It was actually a little bit corroded on one side. Oh yeah, nice and warm with this fire. I don't think I'll have a problem sleeping here at all. Dub C here, we're back to another Survival Saturday. I don't have any special gear, I don't have any special food. I just got the Arctic Survival Tin. Special thanks to Oscar for sending my way, but really want to check it out. I want to see if I can do it overnight just with this tin. It has quite a bit of contents in it. However, there's a few things I don't know. One, as many have pointed out already when I showed in the past, Arctic is spelled wrong. I don't know why, did some research on it. Not sure what's up with that, but the other thing is, I don't know how old it is. There is some food in here, but I don't know if it's going to be any good. But I just want to have some fun with it, open it up, make a shelter, and stay overnight with it. And see how creative I can get with the contents. So let's open it up and see what we got. All right, before we open it up, it does have the can opener right on top. It has a list of the contents, but we're going to go through everything. I'm not sure what is compromised, what is not. Like I said, I do not know the age of this thing, but you can see it's Frankfurt. It's got the address right there, manufactured by Marion Industries of America. So a lot I don't know about this, and there's not that many on the market. So again, special thanks to Oscar for letting me check out this rare item. So I'll go ahead and take the can opener off the top. This was like hot glued. And again, I'm just going to try and use the Arctic Survivor Tin by itself, but I do have a couple things I carry every day with me, like my paracord bracelet. I have my Leatherman Surge. And then my phone will have to be my light, because that's the only thing I have, like a light source, unless there's one in here. But there's my Leatherman Surge. It's a couple things I would carry with me all the time anyways. But let's go ahead and open it up. See if there's any vacuum seal on it. It did have a vacuum seal, so that's really cool. I'm just going to kind of hurry up and get this thing opened. Okay, can opener worked great. Let's see what we got. Wow. So this is it's got an interesting smell to it. Right off the bat, it looks like the tape that they're talking about, it's like a duct tape to hold it in. And it's got pemmican, old our hickory smoked tender beef jerky. But again, I don't know if that's compromised. Go ahead and peel this tape off. So it looks like it comes with a strip of duct tape, and what they've done is actually utilize that to hold the contents inside. So that's really nice. Put that aside, because you can always use duct tape. All right. Oh wow, yeah, the candies look like they're on the side, and they a little sticky to the sides. Oh, I mean, it looks like they're taped, so it should be fine. All right, so our first thing we got Brock's Perky. I don't know if that's like the energy bars they were talking about. It says there's 2 energy bars. So we got like a green and an orange. We'll definitely have to try those out, even though they look kind of funky. Then we have the beef jerky. Looks like air completely got to that. However, I'm not sure if it's going to be any good or bad. We'll definitely try it out. Doesn't look like it's not like slimy or opened, so that means it didn't leak out. Okay, next one we got, there's our, I don't know, it looks like the tea bag, but it's not sealed up and it smells like beef jerky. So a little beef jerky tea. All right, we've got 2 tablets of buffered aspirin. Let's see if I can find a date on one of these items. We have a iodine prep pad. Oh, there we go. We have expiration. Okay, so I'm seeing a expiration 01/87. So I don't know if that's July or January 1987 or what. We have a alcohol wipe. We have a antibacterial ointment, and again, expiry of October of 1988, I'm guessing. So it looks like this tin was made around 87 or 88. We have our wire we can utilize for multiple uses. We have a sugar for the tea. And I'm not sure what these are, but they are looking pretty crazy. Oh, that's our bouillon. Wow. I'm guessing that's no good. I'm not going to have no soup tonight. Yeah, because the packaging is actually just broken up with the actual bouillon itself. That's crazy. All right, we got our emergency blanket. It's 56 by 84, so I was hoping it was pretty big so I could actually make a shelter out of it. And it does have 2 safety pins with it, so hopefully that's still okay. Oh, here's it says this is a saw, so we can utilize that to try and cut some trees or some wood so we can have fire or the shelter. Not sure if it's going to work out, but we'll give it a try. We got a piece of bazooka bubble gum. It was 3 cents. So that's really cool. I might just keep that. I don't know if I'll eat that because I love the packaging on it. We have the fire starter, 4 of them. So I'm definitely going to use that for the starting the fire. We have our compass, which should work okay. But we'll definitely try it out. It's just a basic magnetic compass. Another cool item is the water purification tablets. Obviously no good, but I've never seen anything like packaged like that. Again, it looks like moisture didn't get in this thing. It was completely dry, but these things just disintegrated. We have a fish hook, so we could go fishing. I think that all these are great items to have in here. We have some salt tablets. Those actually look all right. I don't know if this is the fishing line they're talking about, but that can be utilized for multiple things. There's another fish hook, different size. And then here's the bag. It says it comes with a big bag. I could probably utilize that for water collection. And then King Edward cigars. Looks like a book of matches. 2 Band-Aid brand shear strips, like bandages. Again, I don't know if I want to open those because just like the packaging, it's really cool to find out the date on this stuff. And then we have, it looks like it's like a survival guide, hypothermia, wind chill, temperatures. This looks like finding dry timber or kindling, wind, build a shield for fire using rock or trench, rain, protect the tender, all kinds of ideas on how to survive and whatnot utilizing this kit. It even has a shelter guide, which is really cool. It says rain, snow, or blizzard. Snow blizzards actually says like construct a snow cave and get in there. The rain, use a tarp available. It's supposed to possibly snow or rain tonight, so hoping the emergency blanket's still working pretty good. And then we have a razor blade. So that is the contents of the tin. A lot of great items and great ideas for survival. It's too bad that it's as old as it is. But a lot of things I'm going to keep for keepsakes. And then we'll try some of the items out and then see what we can do to make a shelter with the items I have. Okay, now that I know the contents of the Arctic Survivor tin, I picked out what I was going to use as far as useful items. I emptied out the tin and put the rest in the bag. And now I got to make a shelter. So the shelter, I found this piece of deadfall laying out pretty good. It feels pretty sturdy. I'll probably lay in some logs on this side, set it up, and then I'll use the emergency blanket to come down and then pull it underneath, so I actually have some like a moisture barrier, and I'll have the fire right in front of me to keep me warm. So we'll see how well it works out. One thing I definitely want to do is either get a moss bed or a pine bed because the ground is pretty rough right here. So I'll probably use the saw to cut some of the pine and get a pine bed going. Okay, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. It was actually a little bit corroded on one side, but my goal is to cut a couple of these limbs off so I can use the pine as a nice bed and get me off that ground so I'm not like a moisture barrier. So just place that on this side, close to the edge. Grab the 2 rings and just pull through. Nice even strokes. Okay, this saw actually cut a lot better than the other ones. Some of the other ones I've tried. So I'll just, I got a lot of work to do. Start getting these limbs off so I can finish up. Okay, this is actually the second pine bed I've made. The first pine bed I made, I actually was in my first natural shelter when I did some cold weather camping another time. I'll put a link for that right now if you want to check that out. But basically you want to get all the pines you can, stack them up to about, try to get as thick as possible, like 4 inches, and it'll compress when you lay on it. But you always want to make sure that the sharp ends are down. Because if you turn it around, all the sharp pointy ends are pointing up. Flip it around, actually soft and springy, and that's what you want. So we'll go ahead and line all this stuff up. I'm also trying to get all the bed kind of underneath this, because this is going to be the edge of my shelter pointing down, and then I'll be laying probably on this side. All right, so far so good. Now, Corporal's Corner said, as long as it's 2 fists away, you want to have a tight shelter, because if you don't have that much gear, you want to keep all your body heat within the shelter. I'm going to now apply the emergency blanket and try to see where that lands out. I don't know if I'm just going to drape it down or try to wrap it underneath. I'd like to wrap it underneath because it'll even help with the moisture barrier, but it might not work. All right, the emergency blanket's a little roughed up. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart when I open it. It has the 2 safety pins. We'll get it open, see how big it is, and see how we can affix it the best to benefit and keep our body heat in. And also has the 2 safety pins in there. We'll set those aside in case we need them for something else. But one thing I do not like about these is they're extremely fragile, as far as they rip real easy. So I'm hoping I can get a fix to this without like destroying it. And then being this one's older, and it looks like this kit's from like 1985. I don't know if it, got damaged over time. This thing's getting all twisted up. This is not going good. Come on, let's go use the Survivor Tin. It'll be fun. We have lots of laughs. I give props to whoever folded this up, because it's taken like 3 hours to unravel. Okay, I did have to use some of the tape. I used half of it because there was a tire already in this, and once you tear at one spot, it'll just keep going. So I'm just gonna fold the tape over that tear, hopefully seal that up so it doesn't keep going. Okay, I secured the top of the emergency shelter between the log and where it's resting for now, because I want to get a kind of idea where I want it. I'm going to create toggles because there's no rivets on these tarps. So all you do is break a little piece of stick or a rock and kind of fold it in there, and you can create a little toggle. What you do is just tie a little knot around this. I'm using the fishing line because I'm not fishing today. There's nowhere to fish, so I might as well use the line to make the shelter. But you'll make a little knot around here, and then you can tie off to any position on this on your shelter. All right, now I have that toggle in there. I was able to tie around there, secure it to the shelter, so it's good to go. All right, emergency shelter is done. I was able to wrap on underneath the bottom, so I have a moisture barrier on the bottom, and secured that side, secured the middle with the duct tape. Duct tape never fails. And then if it rains or anything, I'm out of the elements, and then when the heat comes from the fire, it should reflect. My body heat should reflect off this thing. Should be a pretty set deal. Okay, if you give you a quick tour of the home sweet home. I use logs in the bottom to kind of secure that back edge, and I put some pine on top to secure that from blowing in the wind. But I get full coverage out of it, and it is just emergency shelter. This is not a permanent shelter. It's not meant to last very long. It's meant to get through the night. All right, with the shelter done, next thing I do is get the saw out, get some firewood for the fire, and then once you get a fire, I can purify some water by boiling it to get something to drink. All right, I'm gonna use the bag. I poured all the contents in my shelter, and I'm gonna use the bag for some water collection. Try to get some water boiled up in that tin we got that had everything in it. Try not to stir on any of the contents of this water up. And I'm hoping there was no holes in this bag. Seems to be all right so far. Go ahead and seal it up. Then we'll have some water to boil. Well, I'm really surprised there was no holes because it looked beat up pretty good. But we're in good shape. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's actually a little leak right there. But I'll just hold it and, like I said, try to get the water to the fire. Luckily, there's a lot of deadfall laying around. I was able to collect that and break that because the saw is down. Let's see if I can show the spot of corrosion that I was worried about. It snapped right there. So, no longer have a saw, but I was able to process all this by breaking between trees and kind of collecting it off the ground. Here tender that come in the kit. We got 4 pieces. Looks like little briquettes of sawdust and whatnot. We have the King Edward cigars matches. I'm hoping they work. So far, so good. Let's see if they can light these things up. Okay, they're lighting up. You could probably get away with just using one, but since I'm only doing it overnight, I'm just using them all up. Because that one's got decent burn time, but I want to get the other ones lit too. Matches are working great. All right, I'm gonna roll the smalls over the tender and see if it takes off. At least the fire tender worked good, and so did the matches. Go ahead and get some water boiling real quick. We're looking for a rolling boil for 2 minutes. Big bubble, 2 minutes, big bubble, no trouble. So just started rolling boiling. We're going to time it, and then we'll take it off. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. I'm going to use my Leatherman to take it off. Carefully so I won't spill it, and I'll let it set it over side and let it cool down. It's much warmer having a fire, and this thing is collecting the heat pretty good. It'd be really tedious to like have to drink just a little bit at a time like this, but it's what you got to do. It's what you got to do. You'd have to drink a little bit, boil it, drink a little bit, boil it, and then just keep going, just so you don't. Obviously, it's very important to get your water, but in a true survival situation, that would be tough. Well, I guess it's dinner time, and since my bouillon's shot, I got some beef jerky from, well, at least the expiration date's January of 1985. Wonder how that, and actually says Slim Jim on the package. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty awesome. It's tender beef jerky, sliced and shaped. And then the green candy's actually open, so I'm going to hold off on that one, but I will try the orange candy, because that one is not opened. If it's no good, it's definitely getting spit out, because just, I don't have high hopes for it, let's put it that way. Beef jerky. Not too bad once you get past the initial, I've been in plastic for nearly 30 years. Yeah, I mean, it tastes just like beef jerky after it reconstitutes, but it's extremely dried out, and it kind of tastes like leathery plastic in the first couple bites. No numbing sensation or anything like that, but you get that weird aftertaste. Next to the green candy shot, let's go ahead and have some of this orange candy. Kind of break it in half. It looks like it melted, and then it looks like the you know, the pâté de fruit bars and the French RCRERs. Hope it tastes like that. Believe it or not, this thing is actually probably just as good as a orange gummy from today. It's got the crystally, or the like salt or sugar crystals on the outside. It's got a crunch, and the inside just a gooey orange flavor. Very artificial, but surprisingly still good after all these years. And this water just tastes like kind of smoky, just smoky water. But all the smoke's just kind of rolling in my camp or anywhere, so let it ride. I was trying to save the, there was the packaging outside, but it kept on peeling off. I didn't really want to cook it, but just to showcase how you get water. Okay, now that dinner's done, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my last little bit of water, soak the fire, and just chill out. Still got my winter survival tin. I put all the rest of the contents inside the tin. I folded up the bag, so in case I need it for tomorrow. But I'll just hold it right here. A few things broke in it. A few things didn't work. Some of the food was bad, but still made the best of it. Can definitely feel the heat radiating and staying within the shelter, and that's what I need it to do. Need the heat come in and just circulate around my body. My body heat same way. Emergency blanket's holding up good. Okay, I got the fire all stoked up. I'm inside my shelter. Guess this light's out. See how well this thing holds up all night. Okay, it's morning time. The shelter held up. Even rained a little bit. I didn't get really that much wet. I mean, other than, you know, I had my arms sticking out a little bit and my legs, but I'm drying up in the fire right now. I was able to keep the fire going all night. I may be cold, hungry, but I'm still alive. So, survival tin, I think worked out pretty good. I mean, I didn't know how old it was, what the contents were, and I was still able to open it up and see how it worked out. I did wish it had coffee in it. It did have tea, but that tea was like, it was an open package. It was not sealed. I can tell you it was no good. And I want some coffee. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up camp. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I should do like a bigger trip with a newer survival kit. You know, just take that out, do an overnight just with the contents, just like I did with this one. Hopefully the next one has some food and coffee. I can tell you I didn't get the best of sleep because the wind picked up and this thing is like super loud. Every time the wind blows, I don't even hear it. It's like just crinkly paper all the time. But again, special thanks to Oscar for sending this my way to check out. It was really cool to see the contents, what was inside, and then, you know, the fact that it was from 1980s, like mid 80s, that was also really cool too. I still had a great time, and that's what it's all about. So that's all I got now. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.